I pull open the heavy front door of the old Craftsman house, the wood groaning like an old man in protest. Outside, the late afternoon sky presses a bruised purple against the horizon, fat clouds creeping across the sky as though they carry secrets. From somewhere deeper in the house, down the narrow hall and past the open doorway of my old bedroom, a single floorboard creaks under tired weight. My chest tightens. I'm Alex, 27, perpetually restless, living here on a short-term lease until I figure out who I really am, or who I want to become. The rent is cheap because the landlord never fixed the leaking roof. Rainwater drips, drip, drip, into rusty pails on the floors below. That sound is both lullaby and warning. Stay alert, stay alive. It's Tuesday. I should be in the gym, counting reps next to my best friend, Ryan. But Ryan's been off lately. An odd text this morning. Sorry man, gotta pass. Delivered just as I was lacing my trainers. No explanation, no emoji. It felt like an absence already. Even now, I can't tell if my pulse races because I miss his easy grin, or because I can't shake the feeling that he's hiding something. Light filters through the stained glass transom over the front door, painting fractured patterns on the entry tile. Molten ruby and emerald, shards of color I half expect to rearrange themselves into a warning message. I brush my fingers over the cracked edge of the wooden console table, our shared coffee mugs from college still sitting there, untouched. On one, someone has scrawled in Sharpie, "Friends who sweat together." On the other, "Stay strong, bro." We always laughed about our bromance, but lately, I've begun to wonder if it was ever just that. A sudden click echoes behind me. I spin, heart in my throat, and see no one, just the mirror propped against the wall, reflecting the dim hallway. My breath catches. I remember the rumor I heard last week at the gym, that Ryan had taken up late-night shift work delivering adult fitness supplements, something about extra cash. I laughed it off. Too many late nights. But the gym gossip whispers of peculiar deliveries in unmarked vans, of private rendezvous in closed-off rooms. A soft thump upstairs jolts me. I swear I hear muffled voices, two voices, but when I press my ear to the cold banister, there's only silence. The warning light on the thermostat flickers. The hallway feels narrower, as if the walls themselves are leaning in. I run a hand through my dark hair, tasting metal at the back of my throat. I whip out my phone. No new texts from Ryan. Only my own reflection staring back, eyes haunted, searching. Maybe you're overthinking it, I tell myself, but doubt coalesces like fog. Is he in trouble? Or is he hiding something from me? Something that could rip us apart? A floorboard creaks again, this time right behind me. My pulse spikes. I don't turn around. Instead, I edge toward the doorway, ready to call his name. But the hallway yawns empty, offering only shadows. A single shoe lies in the center of the floor, Ryan's brand new cross trainers, scuffed around the heel. No sign of him. No note. Just that single shoe. I swallow hard, the house suddenly too still. What happened to my straight friend who asked me for workout help? What secrets lurk beneath his apologetic text? And why does the silence feel more dangerous than any storm I've ever weathered? I stand in the foyer a moment longer, eyes locked on Ryan's lone sneaker. My chest hammers, but I force myself to breathe, in and out, slow as rainwater dripping through the ceiling. Eventually, I cradle the shoe in one hand and move deeper into the house, toes brushing dust motes dancing in the slanting late afternoon light. The living room is quiet, too quiet. Our mismatched couches, scarred by years of spilled protein shakes and late-night gaming marathons, sit like empty sentinels. On the coffee table, my laptop blinks in sleep mode beside an overturned shaker bottle, a half-dried ring of pink powder staining the wood. I remember the evening 2 nights ago when Ryan and I sat here, arguing over form. "Your shoulders are too high," I'd said. He'd laughed, flipping his dumbbell onto the rug. Maybe I like the pain. The memory should be comforting, but now it feels like a photograph in an old crime file, staged, impossible to trust. I cross to the kitchen, heart in my throat. The faucet drips, drip, drip, matching the rhythm upstairs. I flip the switch for the overhead light. It flickers violently before stabilizing. The hum of the refrigerator drone is interrupted by a soft metallic click. I freeze, listening. Something's moved in the pantry. Ryan? My voice snaps like a rubber band. No answer, only the soft sigh of the refrigerator. I crack open the pantry door. A row of neatly lined protein bars glares back at me. I rack my brain. I'm sure one of those was upside down this morning. My hand trembles as I flip on the flashlight app of my phone. A cardboard box sits on the lowest shelf, taped shut. I don't remember it being there. I kneel and gently tug at the tape. The box yields with a soft tear. Inside, black workout gloves, navy blue, costume-like, and a glossy pamphlet for Elite Performance Training after-hours sessions. My fingers brush a name scrawled in the corner, Ryan Whitman. I slip the gloves back in, closing the box. But when I stand, my flashlight beam catches something on the wall, a shadow that isn't mine. It flits past the doorway to the dining room. Hello. I whisper, heart pounding. Silence. I follow the shadow into the dining room, where the table is set for 2 plates, silverware polished, blue linen napkins meticulously folded. Last night's dinner remains, half-eaten grilled chicken, a fork stabbed upright in mashed potatoes, and a single wine glass tipped over, its contents long dried into a ruby stain. I reach to wipe it away, but my fingers hover. Wine glass, protein shake, pilfered glove box. Each clue feels like part of a puzzle with too many missing pieces. A gust of wind rattles the window panes. Through the glass, I see movement. A figure slipping out of view behind the garage. Adrenaline surges. I cold cock caution and sprint past the French doors onto the back porch. The air is cool, scented with wet grass and night-blooming jasmine. I flash my phone toward the garage. Its door is cracked open just enough for a sliver of darkness to swallow the rest. Ryan? I call again, louder this time. My voice echoes across the yard. No reply. Only the distant chirp of crickets and the soft whistle of wind through the old oak trees. Inside, my mind races. Maybe he got called into work. Maybe it's some prank gym stunt. But the silence feels too loaded, too deliberate. And that pamphlet, private, after-hours, sessions? Who were those for if not me? I close the garage door with a shove, metal grinding against metal. It gives a protesting squeal that echoes through the hollow space beyond. My phone light flickers, and in that instant, I swear I see him. Ryan, shirtless, muscles glistening under a single bare bulb, standing against the far wall. His face is half-shadowed, and he's staring at me with eyes I don't recognize, haunted, almost smug. Then he's gone. I stumble backward, heart jackhammering. My breath comes in bursts. I glance down at the keypad beside the door. The code is still set to our old college number, 1987, taped above it in fading black ink. I punch the numbers out of habit, but the door remains locked. I try again. Then a 4th time, more forcefully. The mechanism clicks, but the door doesn't budge. On a sudden impulse, I slam my shoulder against it. Pain flares in my right side, and I teeter, nearly falling. Then the door shudders inward, and I spill into the garage. It's empty save for dusty lawn equipment and the white van I've never seen before, unmarked, its side door ajar, revealing crates stacked inside. The engine idles softly. I creep closer, the paints glare under my flashlight revealing smeared fingerprints across the sliding door's handle. I shine the beam inside. More gloves, rubber seals, plastic containers with unidentifiable powder. My breath hitches. This isn't a supplement run. This is something else. Something illicit. A sudden noise behind me. The garage door clatters toward closure. I whirl around, slipping on oil stains, and grab the edge of the doorframe. Halfway closed, I can see the hallway outside, and at its end, faint light through the open living room doorway. I call out, voice raw, Ryan, tell me you're here. No answer. Just the mechanical groan of the door descending. With a final clunk, it seals me in darkness. My phone buzzes in my pocket, a message from an unknown number. Stop looking. I stare at the screen, my reflection fractured by the dim glow. Under it, a smaller line of text, or I'll make sure you never do. My hand shakes as a single thought becomes a scream inside my head. What have you gotten me into? And can I trust the one friend I always could? The garage grows colder. Shadows stretch thicker around me. I wake in a haze. The concrete beneath me is cold, and the sour taste of fear lingers in my mouth. My wrists burn where coarse rope has cut through my skin, binding me to a metal chair. The garage is silent but for the low hum of the van's engine idling somewhere in the darkness. My flashlight lies crushed at my feet, its flicker snuffed out. Glad you could make it back, a voice intones. Deep, familiar. I lift my head with effort, blinking against the harsh glare of a single overhead bulb. Ryan stands before me, shirtless, the muscles along his torso taut and glistening, just like earlier, but now his skin is stained with something dark. Blood? Well, I can't tell. His eyes, though they're colder than I've ever seen. You why? My voice is ragged. He doesn't answer. Instead, he tilts his head, studying me as though I'm an experiment gone wrong. The rope snaps as I shift, and I flinch, chest tightening. This, he says slowly, stepping into a pool of light. This was never about workouts. His voice carries the cadence of confession, soft, controlled. Remember the first time you taught me a deadlift? How proud I was to lift my own weight. I do remember. His grin then was genuine, unfettered. A moment of purity in our friendship. We collapsed onto the mats, laughing so hard we could barely breathe. Now, that memory feels like someone else's dream. He circles me, fingers brushing the edge of the table beside us, where an array of jars rest, some labeled experimental, others scrawled in Ryan's neat cursive, Phase 1, Phase 2. The powders inside shift when he moves, as though alive. I needed more, he says. Not compliments. Not spotters' hands on my back. But power. I swallow, struggle against the ropes. Power, for what? His lips curl into a half-smile. To become someone else. He gestures to the van. To belong. My mind races, questions tumbling. Belong to whom? To what? Am I the only one he's done this to? He crosses the garage and flips open the van's side door. Inside, faint blue light reveals silhouettes of men, half-dressed, expressionless, bound and hooked to 4 bags. Their faces are gaunt, their eyes dart but find no escape. I recognize one as Marcus, a quiet guy from spin class. Another is Chad, always chirping about cross-training. My stomach lurches. They're like me. I barely whisper. Ryan steps back, face shadowed. You weren't listening, Alex. You think this is about you? It's bigger than us. He runs a finger along the edge of the 4 stand, and a vial glints in the light. Its label reads, Beta X. My throat constricts. Beta X, rumored to be an untested enhancer, whispered in locker rooms as a miracle. But also as a curse. Ryan, this is insane. I force the words out. You're saving them, he interrupts. They're broken. Society discards weakness. I'm giving them a choice. My gut twists. But at what cost? You're kidnapping them. He shrugs as if shrugging off a fly. Collateral. He steps forward, voice dropping, and you, my straight best friend, stood by me. His gaze locks onto mine. Until you knew too much. My heart pounds. The haze clears. I see the blade at his side. A custom surgical tool, gleaming merciless. You won't leave, he says, stepping close enough that I can smell the sweat and something metallic on his skin. Because you're part of this now. I swallow against a sudden wave of guilt. I did teach him. I did push him to break limits. I did laugh at his jokes about getting bigger than the whole gym. I did everything to help, unwittingly nurturing this obsession. Please, I whisper. We can stop this. We can call the cops. We can. He laughs, a dry, hollow sound. You'd betray me? After everything? He grips my chin, tilting my face upward. The light flickers, and for a fraction of a second, I see the boy I knew, warm, kind, full of dreams. Then the light steadies, and it's gone. A distant wail, one of the men in the van. Marcus screams, "Help me!" Ryan stiffens, releasing me. He advances to the van and cracks open a crate. The 4 lines hang like snakes. He grabs a fresh bag of Beta X, slinging it over a hook. I wrench at the ropes. No! He freezes, hand on the 4 stand. Give me one good reason not to, he says softly. My breath hitches. My mind races through memories. Lifting with him in the dawn chill, shared protein shakes, the way his laugh could light up the darkest alleyway in my heart. Because I love you, I choke out. The words rush from me unbidden, raw and exposed. He blinks. The world tilts. For a heartbeat, I see doubt flicker across his face. The 4 bag sways. I feel something like hope. Then he slams the crate shut. The overhead bulb shudders and pops. Darkness swallows us. The thrum of the engine rises. Keys jingle in his pocket. He steps toward me, and the blade's silhouette cuts a line through the black. I brace myself, all at once terrified and resolute. He raises the blade. And the lights snap back on. Time slows. The 4 bags rattle. The bound men still in the van flicker in peripheral vision. The blade hovers, glinting. And in that instant, I realize there is no turning back. No simple rescue, no easy confession. Ryan, I whisper, voice steady despite the tremor in my limbs. It's over. He hesitates. Clink. The blade falls to the floor, metal meeting concrete with a final, ringing resolve. He steps back, gaze hollow. The rope's coarse fibers dig into my wrists, and I know I'm still trapped. But the knife lies between us, our unspoken boundary. He looks at the fallen blade, then at me. Is it? He breathes. And before I can answer, the van's doors slam shut from inside, a chorus of muted panic. Lights flicker. Sirens wail in the distance, too faint to be real, or perhaps just beyond the garage walls. My heart pounds with the echo of what has just happened, and what is yet to come. The wail of sirens fades into the distance, replaced by the low hum of the van's engine and my ragged breathing. I'm still tied to the chair, but now the blade, our pivot, lies uselessly on the floor between us. My wrists burn, but I can't tear my gaze away from Ryan's face. His chest rises and falls in uneven gasps, sweat beads along his collarbone, catching the light from the lone bulb overhead. He kneels beside me, fingertips tracing the shallow cuts across my palms where the rope has chafed the skin. His touch, once comforting during spotters' drills, now feels charged, an odd mixture of regret and panic. My eyes flick to the 4 bag dangling from the metal stand. Half emptied, its contents pooling in a bag that once held promise, now exuding dread. He starts, voice cracking. I didn't mean. I close my eyes, fighting the sting of tears. In their place, a strange calm settles. I think of the days we spent in fluorescent-lit gyms, arms shaking together under steel bars, him teasing me about my lack of gains, me ribbing him for his obsession with perfection. Those moments feel like warm snapshots in my mind, sunlight on dust motes, the clank of weights, laughter echoing off tile floors. Now, in this grim cathedral of forced transformations, their warmth feels distant, almost duplicitous. He stands, pacing a slow circle. His footsteps echo against the concrete. Each step thuds like a drumbeat in the void between us. I strain against my bonds, but the rope holds firm. A single drop of sweat slides from his temple to the collar of his tank top, smearing a dark line across the fabric. He pauses, lifts the 4 stand, and wheels it over. Listen, he says softly. I thought I was helping them. I thought I was helping you. My chest tightens at the confession. The word help twists in my gut, its shape changed, hollowed. You helped them, I whisper. But it wasn't this. He lifts my chin, forcing me to meet his gaze. His eyes are glassy, unreadable. I lost control, he admits. Their paint, he swallows. It made me feel powerful. I study the flecks of gold in his irises, searching for the boy I used to know. The boy who once pressed his hand against my back to steady my squat, who celebrated every rep I conquered. Instead, I see a fracture, something irreparable. A distant thunder rumbles. The rain, relentless, hammers the garage roof in staccato bursts. Water trickles through a crack overhead, splashing into a shallow puddle at my feet. I imagine the drip landing onto Ryan's shoes, the shock of cold on his skin, a reminder that even the smallest leak can't be ignored. He kneels again and presses a finger to the 4-bag's drip chamber. The liquid drips in slow, measured pulses, like a heartbeat. "They're scared," he murmurs. "They're human." I let my head fall back against the chair, exhaustion weighing down my eyelids. "Then let them go," I say. "Let yourself go." He hesitates, the 4-stand's wheels creaking as he shifts his weight. The rope sags slightly at my wrists, as if responding to my plea. For a moment, I think he will unbind me, or at least release the rest of the captives. But instead, he stands abruptly, knocking the stand over. The tangle of tubing snags on my chair leg, tearing the drip chamber from the bag, and the remaining fluid splatters across the concrete. A metallic tang fills the air, sharp and bitter. Ryan backs away, his face contorting in anguish. He presses both hands to his mouth, as if trying to stifle a scream. The visceral sound of liquid hitting concrete seems to break something inside him. He whispers, "I'm sorry," then turns and bolts for the van. The doors screech shut, and the engine roars to life. I tug at my bonds, but the ropes haven't loosened. Through the garage's small window, I watch the unmarked van speed away into the night, its taillights red embers swallowed by darkness. Silence returns, hollow, heavy. The 4-stand lies toppled, its metal legs twisted, tubing splayed like aborted veins. The blade remains where it fell, catching a flicker of lightning from the storm. My mind reels, the captives still bound inside the van, their futures uncertain, Ryan, both savior and captor, driving toward an unknown destination, and me, left alone in the wreckage of our friendship. The storm intensifies. Rainwater seeps along the garage floor, mingling with the spilled enhancer in a shallow, inky pool. I close my eyes and breathe in the dank air. Guilt and relief swell within me, guilt for not stopping him sooner, relief that the immediate danger has passed. But the unresolved tension coils tight in my chest. What will become of those men? What will become of Ryan? And what of me, haunted by the knowledge that the line between protector and predator can blur in the blink of an eye? Lightning flashes. I squint at the blade, gleaming in the flicker. The rope sags again, and a single thread loosens. In the echo of thunder, I realize the real experiment has only just begun, and the world outside this garage holds far more questions than answers. I wake on the living room floor, shivering beneath a thin blanket that something, must have tucked around me. Dawn light spills through the broken window pane, casting fractured beams across overturned chairs and the splatter of dried enhancer on the carpet. My wrists ache from raw rope chafing, now replaced by the dull throb of guilt that pulses through my veins. I'm alone. The coffee table bears no morning coffee, just a lone, untouched shaker bottle, half full of chalky pink powder. I lift it, fingers trembling, and remember Ryan's haunted eyes as he confessed his twisted mercy. His apology still echoes in the garage. "I'm sorry." The front door creaks behind me. I whirl, heart stuttering, to see my roommate Mia standing there, her face pale, hands clutched around a steaming mug. "You're alive," she says, voice cracking. Relief and fear war in her tone. "I am," I whisper. "But I don't know about them." My gaze drifts to the window, searching for the van's red taillights that never came back. Mia sets the mug down and kneels beside me, wrapping my shoulders in a fierce embrace. "What happened?" she asks, but I can't speak. Words stick to the ache in my throat. Instead, I point to the shaker bottle, the scattered chairs, the broken promise of safety. She nods slowly, understanding dawning. "Righty. I know." I finish the thought. He went too far. In the silence that follows, our friendship feels fragile, like it could splinter at any wrong word. Mia's eyes glisten. She stands and retrieves her phone. "I'm calling the police. And the news. We have to stop him before anyone else gets hurt." I hesitate, guilt seizing me. "I taught him how to push past limits," I say, voice low. Maybe I'm partially to blame." Mia's expression softens. She kneels again and presses a hand to my cheek. You didn't know. But now you do. We'll fix this together. She straightens and moves to the window, peering down the street. Outside, the world wakes in muted quiet, only the distant rumble of thunder and the drip of rain from the eaves. No sign of the van, no sign of Ryan. I rise unsteadily and stand beside Mia, shoulders squared. My reflection in the cracked glass is haunted, determined. I think of Ryan's last look, conflicted, broken, perhaps still the friend I loved beneath the monster he'd become. Mia returns with her phone raised, ready to dial. I close my eyes, steeling myself. Wait, I whisper, and she pauses, finger hovering over the screen. Let me try to reach him first. Mia's jaw tightens. She looks at me, fear, hope, and unspoken questions flickering across her face. Are you sure? I nod, swallowing hard. He needs to know I'm not giving up on him. But if he won't answer, we do this my way. Lightning flashes outside, illuminating the abandoned shaker bottle like an omen. I slip it into my coat pocket, evidence and promise. As Mia presses, call, my phone buzzes in my hand. I freeze, heart in my throat. The unknown number flashes, Ryan Whitman. I stare at the screen, breath caught between dread and longing. The line rings once, twice, and then clicks to voicemail. Alex, his voice trembles. I need your help. I'm sorry. My fingers tighten around the phone. The line goes silent, leaving me with his confession, and the echo of one final question. Can I save him before it's too late? I turn the rusty key in the lock and push open the front door. The familiar groan of the hinges greets me, a low, mournful sound that echoes down the long hallway. Late afternoon light filters through the stained glass transom, splintering into jagged shards of crimson and jade across the tiled floor. I step inside, the scent of damp wood and old carpet settling around me like a cloak. I'm Alex, 28, restless, and always chasing something I can't name. This rented Craftsman house creaks with history, faded wallpaper peeling at the corners, a cracked ceiling fan that still spins despite its protest, and water-stained ceilings where rain seeps through each winter. I should feel at home here, but instead there's an unsettled tension hanging in the air, as if the house itself is holding its breath. My phone vibrates in my pocket. A message from Ryan, "Hey man, sorry, can't make leg day. Catch you later." No emoji. No explanation. My chest tightens. Leg day was our ritual, our unspoken bond of sweat and encouragement. Now it's just silence. I drop my bag by the antique console table. Two chipped coffee mugs stare back at me. One says, "Bro goals." The other, "Stronger together." We bought them last Christmas, laughing at how they were supposed to be ironic. Funny how jokes can turn hollow. A floorboard creaks upstairs. I pause, heart thudding. The house is supposed to be empty, Mia's visiting family, and Ryan never comes here without warning. I inhale, steadying myself. Maybe it's just settling. I move toward the living room. The couch cushions are pushed aside, revealing the outline of a body heat imprint, fresh. My pulse spikes. I step closer and catch a glint of metal on the coffee table. A single dumbbell, its chrome handle smudged with dust, and something darker. I lift it. Blood? My breath catches. A distant clap of thunder rattles the windows. Outside, the sky has turned slate gray, fat raindrops beginning to spatter against the glass. I slip the dumbbell back and sweep my gaze around. The second couch cushion is stained, reddish-brown, almost hidden beneath its faded fabric. Ryan? My voice is a whisper, lost in the growing storm. No answer. Only the soft hum of the ceiling fan and the drip, drip, drip from a leak near the corner. The drops land in a rusty pail, each splash sharp in the silence. My hands tremble as I cross to the hallway. Each step feels heavier, as if I'm wading through water. I reach the top of the stairs and glance down the corridor. Mia's bedroom door stands ajar, her belongings still inside, untouched. But down the hall, Ryan's room is dark, door closed tight. I pause at his door, pressing my ear to the cool wood. Heart pounding, I hear nothing. Not the familiar murmur of him straining through deadlifts, Not the muffled laugh he always reserved just for me. Nothing. I swallow hard, the hallway light flickering overhead. A bead of sweat, or is it a raindrop, trickles down my temple. My mind races. Did he really bail on me, or is he hiding something? I trace the outlet where his phone charger usually hangs, empty. A click echoes behind me. I spin, but the hallway is empty. My breath catches. The quiet seems alive, watching. My pulse hammers in my ears. I force my shaking hands to move, reaching for the doorknob. The metal is icy against my skin. I inhale, steeling myself. "Ryan," I murmur. No answer, only the slow groan of the house settling into itself. Something in me snaps. I turn the knob and push inside. And in that dim room, I see it. A single sneaker, its laces tied in a perfect bow, sitting center floor beneath the bedside lamp. My heart skips. What game is he playing? And how far is he willing to go before he lets me in? I slide into the driver's seat of my beaten-up Corolla and close the door with a familiar thud. Outside, the late afternoon sky is bruised purple, heavy clouds sagging as if weighed down by secrets. I pull out of the cracked driveway of my rented Craftsman house, its peeling paint and sagging porch columns a testament to better days. The gentle purr of the engine and the muffled hum of rain-wet tires on asphalt should feel comforting, routine. But my chest is tight, and I can't shake the sense that something's off. I'm Alex, 28 and spinning between ambition and uncertainty. Each morning I wake, lace my sneakers, and head to the gym with Ryan, my best friend since freshman year, straight as him, or so I believed. Our workout sessions are our ritual, the clang of iron, the heady scent of sweat and chalk, Ryan's easy grin whenever I spot him through his max reps. Today, though, his locker sits bare. No headphones draped over the handle, no clean towels folded neatly inside. Just a lock twisting silently in the stale air. My phone buzzes, a text from Ryan. "Sorry, bro, got called into work. Catch you tomorrow?" He's never missed a session without warning. I tap a reply, "Everything okay?" But I already know I won't get a real answer. Back at the house, I push open the front door. The hinges groan, echoing through the wide hallway. The musty scent of damp wood and old carpet wraps around me. I drop my gym bag by the antique console table, where two chipped coffee mugs still stand, side by side. One reads, "Stronger together," the other, "No pain, no gain." We bought them as a joke. Funny how irony can turn sour. A strange sound crackles from upstairs, a soft, rhythmic thump. I pause, heart skipping. The place should be empty. Mia, my roommate, is visiting family, and Ryan never shows up unannounced. I brush my fingers over the table's warped surface and tell myself it's just the old floors settling. But the thump comes again, deliberate, like a message. The kitchen light flickers. I flip the switch, it steadies. On the countertop, a single red rose lies atop a neatly folded towel, its petals flecked with dark smudges. My breath catches. I don't remember bringing flowers home. And the petals look stained. A sudden crash echoes from the back room. My pulse jolts. I step into the living room. The couch cushions are askew, as if someone collapsed there moments ago. On the coffee table sits an open magazine, pages marked with Ryan's handwriting. An article on underground body mod culture, tattoos that shift color with mood, surgical implants that boost performance. I remember his offhand joke last month. What if I got implants? Be like a superhero. I laughed, but now the margins of that page cringe like a warning. Rain drips through a crack in the ceiling, plop, plop, into a rusty pail. Each drop sounds like a ticking clock. My phone buzzes again. No message. Just the screen lighting up with Ryan's contact photo. I swipe to call, thumb hovering. My finger hesitates, doubt coils in my gut. Is he really in trouble? Or is he hiding something darker, secret surgeries, midnight deals, unspoken addictions? My reflection in the window is fractured by raindrops, a fractured me. The front door clicks behind me. I whirl around. Empty hallway. Only one question burns through the hush. What has Ryan gotten himself into, and will I be next?